Once again, happy Easter season. I don't think I've done one of these videos in a while. And for some of you, what I'm going to say will be old news. If you've been in church, if you've been attentive to the parish website, maybe reading bulletins, you know things. But for others, I have found maybe not. Part of it is, of course, we do have a segment of our congregation that goes south for the winter. And so there have been people that recently I've seen for the first time in months, And then it's been COVID time, and different ones of us have treated that in various ways, different ways, and some have been very cautious, have not been coming to church, maybe watching it virtually, live streaming, or watching it from the cathedral. And so I found that this might be a good time to repeat some really big news. I have 3 things to announce. Now, the first I announced really several months ago, and that's my retirement. I encountered a guy I know very well from the parish during this past week, just through an email, and he had no idea that I was going to retire. And so for those of you who may have missed it, July 30th, okay, the weekend of July, August 1st, I will enter what's called senior priest status. You never retire from being a priest. Not like some other companies, they give you a gold watch and you're done. Always a priest. And as a senior priest, I can still be quite busy. In fact, one of our parishes doesn't have a resident priest, and so the administrator has to find senior priests, others who are willing to come in for a weekend to book the whole year. And I think just the other day, I booked 7 weekends at one of our parishes in our diocese. So hopefully I'll be kept busy, but I also want a little bit more time for myself. Not quite the responsibility of everything. When you're a pastor, it's a big place and you kind of shoulder the responsibility of everything. So it's entering a new phase of my life. People say, why now? And I say, well, it's got to be sometime. And by the way, my next birthday, I'll be 74. And I think most of you in this parish by 74 have already been retired for a little while. So that's number one, just to make sure you know that. 12 years at St. Robert's, great, loved it, been perfect, a final parish for me, but I enter retirement. Last weekend, the assignments in the diocese were made. And the one who I kind of thought might be coming here is, as pastor, Father Tony Russo. Why did I think Father Tony? Because I think he's about the right age. He's mid-50s. He's been a priest for 20 years. He's been pastor of Our Lady of Consolation in Rockford for 14 years, so kind of ready for a move. His parish has a school. We're beginning a school already now, well begun, but our school is growing. So he was one of my candidates in my head who might come here, and Father Tony was assigned. However, there was another assignment that really caught me off guard, and that's Father Dominic. Father Dominic, as you know, great priest, done a wonderful job here. People, you all love him, but only 1 year ordained, 1 year here at St. Robert's, and he's going to Our Lady of Consolation in Rockford as pastor/administrator. Technically, they say administrator. Usually in another year, the bishop will say pastor. It's a canon law kind of thing. For all intents and purposes, he'll be in charge. And that's a pretty big assignment for, I don't want to say a young guy, because he's not that young, but young in terms of years of ordination. So he'll do a great job. He's a great guy, great priest, good person, very competent. And I think he'll do well. When you see him, wish him well. Father Dominic moves that same weekend, of course. His first weekend there will be July 31st, August 1st. And so then Father Tony comes here as pastor. That's the second bit of big news. And the third is the bishop's campaign, which I hope didn't catch you by surprise. The campaign that's been written about in Faith magazine that we've talked about for weekends and inserts in the bulletin is Our Shepherds, Our Future. And it is a campaign, a diocesan campaign, to gather an endowment and restricted funds mainly for seminary formation. A little bit for priest retirement, mainly for seminary formation. And so you probably have gotten something during this week in the mail, a packet, and information about the campaign and an amount that the bishop is asking you to give. I don't know what that amount is. I know what I've been asked to give, and that's the only one I know. So it's confidential between you and the bishop and how you choose to respond to that. Now, you may get a phone call. Not every parishioner, we don't have enough people to do this, but a number will be getting a phone call by other parishioners. They're called ambassadors, and they're simply going to be asking you, would you please be attentive to responding to the bishop's campaign? However you choose. They won't know what you've been asked for. It's not their business. You don't have to tell them, but they will ask you to so that we can be able to wrap up this campaign within the next couple of weeks, next couple of months at the most. So when the ambassador calls, please be open to them, be nice to them. If it's a phone message, call them back so they don't have to call you 5 times, and we'll all take care of that together. It's a worthwhile campaign. The bishop, he's the leader, the shepherd of our diocese, and we certainly want to be faithful to what he's calling us to do. So those are the big news things at this time. I still have almost 3 months remaining as your pastor, and I'll be looking forward to those final months, and then looking forward to the next phase of my life. God bless.